Yes. Hi. Again today, welcome to our lesson. We want to manage vaccination. Actually, we are so privileged to visit one of our partners in Eugene Poultry Farm Limited. He's called Mr.
Francis Kipto.
Mr. Francis Kipto. So I will welcome you guys. Kindly cooperate. We are going to take you all about with vaccination. I'm called Dr. Eugene, CEO Eugene Poultry Farm Limited. And then you can introduce yourself.
My name's Alex Muita. I work with Eugene Poultry Farm Limited, the veterinary department, and I'm very privileged to have visited Mr. Kipto here. So thank you, Mr. Kipto, for hosting us. We will go through vaccination. Yeah.
Welcome. So, Mr. Kipto, are you welcoming us? You can say something.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Eugene and Dr. Alex. We have one human doctor and one veterinary doctor. So feel welcome to this part of Kajiado County. I really take this opportunity to welcome you and really appreciate the effort that you have made in making this piece part of your partnership under Eugene Poultry Farming Limited. So thank you and welcome so much.
So thank you. Let's go to our today's lesson, vaccination. Alex, pick from there.
Thank you. So today we are talking about vaccination. So I would like, first of all, if you refer to what we have been talking about, previously we've talked about so many issues, we've tackled diseases, but how can you avoid those diseases? Because they say prevention is better than cure. So if prevention is better than cure, we want to talk about something called vaccination, or in other words, they call it immunization. Vaccination simply is that act that a farmer does to protect or to prevent his or her flock from contracting diseases by administering vaccines. So that means we administer vaccines to prevent diseases. So first of all, we have so many measures that we take, varieties of types of applications that we do, so that to make sure that we vaccinate our poultry stock. First of all, there is use of water. There are a variety of use of injections. It can be subcutaneous, intrathecal, intravenous. It can be also intramuscular. So first of all, before we start, let's start with administering a vaccine in water. There are a variety of diseases that we do administer in water. Oh, before I forget, there is also eye drop. So administering in water, let's start with Newcastle. We have also Gumboro. Yeah, Newcastle and Gumboro, mostly, we administer through water. So how do we do this? How do we administer through water? Do we use just a normal water to administer? Or is there a specific type of water that we use to administer? Because farmers have been complaining. You vaccinate your birds against Newcastle, against BID, which you call in local language Gumboro. Then tomorrow you'll call me and tell me, Daktari, my birds are sick. So what do? I want to tell you today, you always mess up. You use the correct vaccine from a correct source, but in a wrong way. So before I continue, let me give Daktari a chance here to introduce us and tell us how water vaccination is done.
Yes, thank you again. Kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't fail to subscribe, because I'm going to take you through. When you are using the water vaccination as per our stand, the way Alex is saying, first of all, you must determine how many birds do you have. If you have 100 birds, if you have 1,000 birds, if you have 10,000 birds, this is the ratio. If you are using water vaccination, you must know that 2 liters of water equals to 100 doses of either Gumboro or Newcastle. What does that one mean? If you have 1,000 birds, Mr. Kipto, if 2 liters, we are constituting with 100 doses of water. How about 1,000 birds, Mr. Kipto? 20 liters?
Yeah, 20 liters. 20 liters.
It should be 20 liters.
Yes.
So now you take the 20 liters and then now you subdivide in those drinkers. Okay. Remember, before you vaccinate in water, you should starve well your birds. Why am I saying so? You should starve them in a manner that They are very thirsty to get that water and drink it very fast before the 2 hours elapses. At least you should make sure that when you are vaccinating your birds, make sure you vaccinate either in the morning hours or in the evening hours. Simply because in the morning hours, it's when there is not that much sunlight that can even neutralize the vaccine. There are some people who mess up. They prepare the vaccine mostly to those farmers who have got chicken in the run there or in the semi-intensive free range. They prepare vaccines and just place them direct to sunlight. Kindly note, if you place your vaccines direct to sunlight, by the end of the day, you will have made a very big mistake because your birds will be taking water and they will survive by the grace of God. You will sit down, think that you vaccinated your birds, kumbe you messed up. Again, another thing to add on that, when you are using this water, which type of water is good for vaccination, if I may ask? Mr. Kipto, you have been a farmer. Which type of water do you use to vaccinate your birds? May I know?
I would go for either distilled or deionized water.
Distilled water, the one treated with chlorine, eh?
Yes, but most preferably, it would also be deionized because we will have eliminated most of these ions which could be harmful to the birds. Yes.
So, how do you ionize the water?
One, we have many facilities that you can. We have plants.
Oh, now you say you have a plant.
A plant, yes.
Whereby you can remove all those impurities.
Correct.
I have heard you. Then you must be rich, man. So let's think now about the farmers who are in the rural folk there. Let's think about farmers who are at the villages there. How do we remove the impurities from this water? Because, for example, treated water has chlorine. Any chlorinated water, mark my words, what I'm saying. Any chlorinated water, any chlorine, it's harmful to the vaccine. Because the vaccine, it's in virus form. It's either live attenuated or dead attenuated vaccine. So to mean that by the end of the day, when you just put that vaccine in the water containing chlorine, it will be neutralized automatically. Do you get me well? So to mean that, how do you get now rid of that one? In our agrovets, we have got water stabilizers. If you go, for example, in Nairobi, you can buy water stabilizers. And then from those water stabilizers, you can just come and even dip in that tank of yours there. And then now it will remove all sorts of impurities from that water. To mean that the water will be perfect for vaccination. Now, the question comes, how about that? Those rural places. Can you think people of Mount Elgon, Kamkuywa, inside there,
stabilizers.
They will not even get these stabilizers. Others you can get them adding milk. Others you can get them doing so many things. But to me, what I do advise farmers. Do you see the normal containers? The normal containers which are used to prepare maybe the cooking oil.
Yes.
Hizi mitungi za yellow. Zinakaa yellow, zingine red. You just buy those 2 mutungis. If you know your birds are 200, meaning that you are using 4 liters of water per week, you can use that 1 mutungi. You put their water inside there and then cover. Because chlorine, it undergoes oxidation. So, how do you add oxygen in a substance? If you close there, that bottle well, the water will undergo oxidation. It's why you will get that Kitambo, our grandparents, they were not boiling water, they were not treating water, but they could not get even typhoid. Typhoid could not attack them. What was the main reason towards that? Drinking water was well closed. The water to wash the utensils was well closed. What does it mean? Even to add on that, they were using even pots which have magnesium. So by the end of the day, you'll come to get that when you add oxygen in this water, the impurities of chlorine will go away and the water will be safe for vaccination. And that one has been tested and it has worked. So for those in the rural villages, I'm sure they can do that one. And then also there's another option, the running water, like maji ya mtoni, the river water. It's very safe even for consumption.
That's correct.
So from there, that water lacks so many impurities. Yes, despite wanasema tunaweza pata mtu amekunya labda huko juu, alafu kuja hapo mtu mwingine atumie, hiyo ni uchafu. Yes, hizo ni uchafu ndio, hatukatai, lakini the impurities are not inside.
The dissolved substances.
The dissolved substance are not there. So now by the end of the day now, you'll be having the perfect water for vaccination. I'm sure Bwana Daktari, that is what I could add as per my layman's language, but I've got that experience.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate. First of all, I thank God I'm in Kajiado. I can hear it is the home of herbalists. Tafadhali, before I leave here, I want you to show me that method that I can add herbs into water to eliminate chlorine and other impurities. And secondly, kwa wakulima, tafadhali wenye mkuelewa, unajua chemistry was very hard in high school, I know that. So in short, chukua tu maji, weka ndani ya mtungi, funga hiyo maji for around 12 hours. Then use that water, it will be safe. Yeah, so secondly, let's go to the diseases. Unajua, in vaccination, we have two types of diseases. We have bacterial, others are viral. Sindio? But mostly we vaccinate viral diseases. So let's go to diseases that require injections. Dear farmer, I caution you. First of all, before I continue that, let me caution you. Avoid purchasing chicks from brokers. People you don't know where they have sourced their chicks. They have no origin because there is a disease called Marex. Marex is very dangerous. You will never know if that person has vaccinated Marex because you just meet them at the marketplace there. Sell you chicks at 20 shillings. Yes, you have bought them at a cheap price, but are they vaccinated? Please go for quality because quality lasts. Sawa? Quality lasts. So, again, let's talk about the diseases that we vaccinate using injections. These include fall cholera, fall typhoid, infectious bronchitis, other viral infections, respiratory infections. For example, when vaccinating fowlpox, we use stabs. Please, anything involving the use of a needle or a stab, it can be either intramuscular, what I listed previously. Please involve a professional, I mean a vet. There are quacks outside here who pretend to be veterinaries. They pretend to be veterinary personnel who are vaccinating your birds. My friend, for example, if you're vaccinating against fall typhoid, which is intramuscular, any mistake and you tamper with the vein, you will paralyze that bird. So please take heed of that and make sure you involve a vet officer. Let me now talk about the cautions you should take when vaccinating your birds. Daktari has explained at least everything, but let me tell you about one thing that is very important. Take care. When constituting and mixing your vaccine, take a good care. The items you use, the environment, the temperature at which you are constituting that vaccine. Don't use too hot water. Don't use the water that is too warm, because a vaccine, as he has told you, a vaccine is either killed or it's live or killed. So if it's live or killed, that means there are enzymatic activities that are taking place. So what do you know about enzymes? When an enzyme is exposed to either too cold temperatures, it denatures. When exposed to too hot temperatures, it is activated. It activates, and it may end up being destroyed because of high temperatures. So that's why you are advised, any vaccine that is constituted into water should be taken at least within 30 minutes. It's not that it will expire within that 30 minutes. It's because you have brought it from its refrigerated temperature to a normal temperature. So vile inaendelea kukaa ndio inakuwa exposed to heat na inaisha kazi. So please make sure you observe that. Na pia ameongelea kuhusu kuwanyima chakula pia. Kuwanyima nini? Water. You give them feed, unawanyima water. Kwa eye drop hakuna kitu naangalia ati kunyima kuku maji. No. just give them water because you do the vaccination via eye drop. Now let's go to what to do and what not to do. Now, to birds. Before I continue or before I conclude, let me give Daktari again a chance to explain to you what Eugene Poultry Farm advises farmers about which cuckoos are you supposed to vaccinate and which are you not supposed to vaccinate.
Yeah.
Daktari, go on.
Yeah, I can handle that. So again, the cuckoos to vaccinate, you must be aware of it first. First thing, never should you vaccinate sick birds. Thou shall you vaccinate sick birds. If the birds are sick, kindly treat the birds first. After you treat them, it's when now you give vaccination. You can find in a flock, maybe your birds are attacked maybe with fowlpox, and the birds maybe they are due for vaccination, but you find maybe it's one bird which is affected by fowlpox. I'm sure that one daktari will handle that. How do we go about it? But in our farm here I do see wanachukua kamba wanafunga hiyo mguu, at least wanaiweka kando. Tutakuja kujua in the future that this bird ilifungwa kamba kwa mguu haikuwa vaccinated, and then now we can now do the vaccination when the bird stabilizes. But as per my experience, I'm sure we have taught you about so many conditions in this one before you vaccinate your birds also. The kind of birds to vaccinate, mark my words, the birds are vaccinated one day, they are vaccinated Marex. After 1 week, we give Newcastle. But you'll get someone vaccinating birds at 3 days. That vaccine will never work. Because by the end of the day, the birds start gaining immunity from at least 6 days and above. So it's why we recommend at least from day 7, you vaccinate, or even day 10. So I'm sure that one is what we do.
Okay, thank you. So to summarize, as he has told you, ukiwa huja vaccinate kuku and you realize this kuku was sick, my friend, I always advise each and every farmer, when you have a sick bird in your flock, maybe it's, even if it's paralyzed, it is injured, it's suffering from a minor injury, a minor complication, which is not even infectious, please, any problem that you find your cuckoos with, please isolate. Isolation is the first procedure. Put them to in Eugene Poultry Farm Limited, we have sick days. Sehemu yenye daktari anaenda kuattend, anajua hawa kuku, they are suffering from this problem. And you cannot mix a flock that is suffering from Newcastle with a flock suffering from Gumboro. You put them in a separate place so that you treat them in separate ways. Na vile tena amewambia, take caution. As you have heard, as he has said, birds from day on, their antibodies start reacting to anything at early as 7 days. So that's why we advise farmers, tafadhali, usiruke hii vaccination table yenye tunapeana tafadhali. Let me tell you now in Kiswahili. Wacha kuruka hii ratiba yenye tunakupea ya kuchanja kuku wako. Please. Ukiambiwa kwamba Newcastle should be vaccinated at week 2, doctors know the reason as to why it is like that. Tukikwambia kwamba Gumboro should be done as early as 1 week, we know that Gumboro is very toxic hizo kuku zikiwa ndogo. So we know what we're doing. Usiruki useme mimi nataka ni vaccinate Newcastle alafu ni vaccinate fowlpox. Ni vibaya. No. Please follow that procedure. I think for today, let's reach there. In today's lesson, we have discussed about vaccination, and in the next lesson, we will be discussing about housing. Please keep watching and remember to subscribe and notify yourself for the next episodes. Thank you.
Yeah, alafu maybe one question. Mr. Kipto, do you have a question? Pertaining vaccination, the way you have listened?
No, I think I'm now very enlightened. Thank you for that piece of information. I'm surprised that all that information is in your head. Thank you so much. I can only urge the farmers to subscribe to this YouTube channel so that we can be learning every other day. In as much as you have been doing farming for the last several years, don't say that you have learned enough. Subscribe to this channel so that you'll be updated in terms of what is happening in the poultry industry. Thank you.
Yeah, now to me, I've got one question, Mr. Alex. I'll ask you.
Yes.
If we follow the vaccination program very well, we do Gumboro, we do Newcastle, we realize that fowlpox is done almost at 6 weeks. Is it true?
Yes.
How do you help those farmers who fowlpox comes earlier than that vaccine? Because from my knowledge, if it comes maybe, if you hear that there is maybe an outbreak in the neighborhood of maybe Newcastle, and your birds came to your farm, at least you should begin with the Newcastle and then you go to Gumboro. Because in Newcastle, it begins its effectiveness after exactly 1 month after the vaccine has been administered. If it's administered today, after 1 month, it's when now it itaanza kufanya kazi. So to mean that at least ndio maana unapata the second dose of Newcastle, it's coming at 5 weeks. It's in a gap of around 5. It's in a gap of around 1 month. So Alex, how about this fowlpox? Kama imekuja, how do you do it?
Thank you, Daktari, for that. First of all, I want to urge every farmer. When you are in your poultry house, in your farm, please observe something called quality in your farm. That one goes with anything to do with biosecurity measures, how you safeguard your flock. It is very hard for your cuckoos to be infected with a disease yenye hazijafikia vaccination kama si eti kuna outbreak kwa neighborhood. Apart from Newcastle, when we talk about fowlpox, ukiona kuku wako wamekuwa attacked fowlpox na haujafikia hiyo, that means kwamba kuna outbreak imetendeka hapo around and you have exposed your cuckoos to that disease. So make sure kuku za jirani yako hazikutani na zako. Be it what, tafadhali make sure kwamba kuku wako kama hawajamaliza chanjo ambazo unazichanja. And no wonder, let me just tell you, apart from even that fowlpox, you will find that you are vaccinating your cuckoos against Newcastle, drinking water, eye drop, but you find that your cuckoos suffer again from Newcastle, and you're shocked. Kwani imekujaje? Unaona? So sometimes there are outbreaks in the neighborhood. So tafadhali make sure unatunza kuku wako vizuri, na ukisikia kuna outbreak kwa neighborhood, usiruhusu kuku yoyote. Ndio maana tuna advise hata wakulima tukikuja kwa housing tunaitengeneza in a way that tunaiweka against the prevailing wind. So that means ni ugonjwa kama ni fowlpox, kuja kuku wako apate fowlpox. Fowlpox ni ugonjwa wenye unasambazwa kuku wakiwa karibu. Unaona? So kama kuku wako hawako karibu na wa mwingine, ni ngumu sana upate. Lakini let me help you. If you find that your cuckoos suffer from fowlpox na hauku umevaccinate, tafadhali you do secondary care. Unajua ugonjwa kama fowlpox, it's viral. It's not treated, but you just do maintenance. Daktari know about the Livergen Plus ambayo ina maintain na ku keep the liver going, ili at least kama kuna toxins zinaingia zinakuwa prevented. The use of amylite ku boost its vitamin levels in the body, so that at least inapata appetite ya kukula na kusonga. Mwenye anapona ana recover. Yani it's secondary care. Na wakipona, tafadhali you vaccinate them wakiwa wamepona vizuri.
Okay, thank you. So we are concluding there today. Actually, I will show you this house the way it is. If you are vaccinating birds, you are having birds in batches. Make sure that if you are vaccinated, fitting today the 1 week old birds, make sure they are in one batch. If it's 2 weeks, let them be in one batch. Like here you can see, this is our first batch here, and then this is our second one here, and then you can see we have got different batches. So farmers, there it's where I could reach, but emphasize one thing: never allow visitors into your farm. Remember to subscribe to Eugene Poultry Farm Limited channel, Kuku ni Mali. Let's meet in our next topic. Thank you.